Hi everyone, Sequim City Manager Charlie Bush here with another weekly update video. This is a recap of the email I just sent to the City Council. I send the Council an email every Friday to update them on activities and things that are emerging. And I started off this time with public defense, prosecution, and municipal court update. We put an interlocal agreement in place with the county back in 2015, and every year we have an annual meeting to check in on that agreement to see if there are any significant cost increases that need to be discussed and things of that nature. We have an upcoming meeting. We're anticipating a request from the county related to public defense services, which have increased in cost significantly for the county, and those fit into a bit of a different category. It's not a normal cost consumer price index increase, but it's more of a structural increase. The caveat to that is the circumstances that caused the increase happened as a result of a court case, a federal court case in 2012. And most every other public jurisdiction in the state made adjustments in 2013, 2014 at the latest. Apparently Clallam County did not make adjustments and now is trying to do that and wants to open the contract. And our feedback, if that item comes up in the meeting, will be that we're not interested in opening the contract at this point for that reason. So I was letting the council know that, and certainly if the council had any other things that they wanted in exchange for opening the contract, that's a conversation we might enter into. But I was just giving them a heads up that that's the position we were planning to take in a meeting that's going to happen in August if that item comes up. Also, I let them know budget season has arrived. We're working on the 2018 city budget very hard. We've been doing that for months now. And next week we have our annual budget scrub, which is our big exercise with directors and managers from around the organization to once and for all balance the budget and set it in stone until we make a recommendation, or darn close to stone until it's recommended to council in the fall. At this point in time, our utilities, our sewer and water utilities, are separate anyway from our general fund, which is an area where we provide a lot of different services, and that's funded by general taxes. The water and sewer funds are funded by rates. So they're in a bit of a lockbox the way that they're accounted for, and so we have a pretty good idea already where they're going to end up. And at this time I was letting council know, due to growth in the community, there's been a lot of growth. We've added new ratepayers, and that's allowed us to spread the cost of our system over more individual accounts. So as a result of that, we're looking at a 0% rate increase for sewer for the second year in a row, and a 2% rate increase for water. Last year it was 2.25. And the reason for water, there are a few different reasons. One is we're encouraging more conservation, so we're actually asking people to use less water, and part of our rate is a variable rate based on usage, so there's an impact there. We've also made some adjustments to our rate structure for how we treat different classes of ratepayers, and that's had some impact on our costs. We're trying to be as fair as we possibly can in how we allocate those rates out to different types of ratepayers based on their use. And those were all things we put in motion with last year's budget and prior year's budgets based on a rate study that we did several years ago. And we'll be doing a new rate study in a couple of years, so there'll be an opportunity to talk about this stuff a lot more at that time. But with that said, 2% water rate increase, 0% sewer rate increase is anticipated. And then in the general fund, each year we recommend a 1% increase in revenue. This is set up, it's a complicated system, but by a state initiative, where we are allowed to increase our revenues by 1% per year for property taxes plus new construction. So if we have a lot of new construction, that will boost our revenues. We happen to have a lot of new construction, and what I anticipate potentially happening this year, happened last year, is that for an average home in Sequim, the actual amount of property taxes people pay to the city will decrease because there's more valuation because of growth spread throughout the city, and when you can only apply a 1% to all of that, what it means is that for the average folks, the rate actually floats. It varies from year to year, and it often goes down when you have a lot of growth. So that may happen this year again. I'm kind of anticipating that it will. We'll see, but we're looking at the 1%, so I let council know that. And next items, the Economic Development Corporation of Clallam County. The EDC is having a town hall here in Sequim. at the Transit Center on the 26th of July from 4 to 6:30 p.m. So I let the council know if they want to go to that, to let our city clerk know in case we need to post the meeting if we have more than the majority of councilors in attendance. Also, we got a visit yesterday from the Japanese consulate in Seattle, and also from the Japan America Society of Washington. They came to talk to us about a conference that's happening in Seattle in 2018 known as the Japan America Grassroots Summit. This summit's happened every year for the last almost 3 decades. It's a celebration of friendship between Japan and the U.S., and it alternates between Japan and the U.S. Last year it was in Atlanta, Georgia. This next year it's going to be in Seattle. Obviously it's in Japan this year. And it was an education about it and then a partnership request. They are in need of about 10 host families in the Sequim area. And so if anybody listening out there gets this message and wants to host somebody from Japan or a couple of people from Japan in your house during September next year, between the 20th and the 23rd of September of 2018, fantastic. Please contact us. We would love to hear from you. So I was letting council know that we are partnering with our Sister Cities Association in an initial evaluation of host families. If we feel like we can get to 10 in the next few weeks, we have to respond by early August, then we will proceed. If we can't, then we'll probably decide this wasn't the opportunity for us. And we're also looking to partner with Port Townsend, who's already agreed to do this in our efforts, so that we can really find the most efficiency and share resources between the two communities. Also, last night I went to a dinner with the Puget Sound Regional Council. That's a 4-county council of governments. Snohomish, Pierce, King, and Kitsap counties in the Seattle area. They all work together on regional planning and economic development. And they were partnering with the Seattle Chamber of Commerce to do a in-state trade mission, study mission. They go somewhere every year. They came to the Olympic Peninsula this year, and so last night I went to a dinner out in Chimacum near Port Townsend to hear some presentations and meet with a variety of people who were traveling with that delegation, including some of the senior officials with our federal delegation. So it was great to connect with them. So I was just letting council know I went to that, and that tour would continue in Port Angeles today. And I attached the council planning calendar for the council as well. And that is it. So I hope you all have a great weekend and that this update was helpful to you. Enjoy.